nikisema watu wajenge na wewe ujengi, tunakunyang'anya hiyo shamba for good. Mogi yako wapi? Mogi. Saimo wale ile timu yako ya watu wa survey wa ground yakiwa na vice chairman na Mandevu. Tuanze block 6. Tunaelewana? Zile plots zote hazijajengwa, mtengeneze hiyo list. Hakuna choo, hakuna structure, hata kama ni ya nyasi. Tulisema mtu ajenge, hata kama unaweka miti, ukate miti ile ya msituni hapo usiende kununua. Kwako kama una choka, uwezi kosa panga. Kama hakuna structure umejenga na sio fence, structure sio fence, hiyo list nipewe. Hizo plots tutaplot on tarehe 11 mwezi ya 8. Si tuko na general meeting. Hizo ndio za kwanza kupeana. Tuende block 8. Nayo pia mnipatie hiyo list. Are we together? Yes. Sababu shamba Kenya shamba haina structure, haijajengwa. Utapigana, uwe na title ya chuma, uwe na title ya dhahabu, uwe na title umeweka wapi, utapigana na watu usiku na mchana na mchana. Na ndio tumalize hiyo vita. Kila mtu ajenge kwake. Kama wewe uwezi saidia sisi kumaliza vita kwa kujenga, wewe unapoteza. Uwezi kufanya sisi tupoteze. Enda Mombasa, utakuta ile shamba haina mtu, unakuta iko na ownership zaidi ya 10. Title ni karatasi. Ploti ni kujenga. Usipojenga, shauri yako. Utanichukia, unilaani, unifanye vile utanifanya, shauri yako. Si tulisema? Nimesema structure. Iwe ya miti, iwe wewe umejenga kiota ile ya ndege. Tabu kuniliona mtu fani kwanza pale block 11. Ameweka kikingi hivi na cambox na mega steam up. That is development. Yes. Yeah. I would like to be very, very, very serious and categorical.
As you've seen, that is a land cartel addressing buyers. And mind you, hope you've seen how very confident and vibrant he sounds. Now, in relation to the Mavoko land saga, I wouldn't want to choose sides, but the facticity of it is that back in 2015, Dr. Alfred Mutua, the former governor, spilled the beans in relation to the whole Mavoko land scam.
We should proceed with the meeting, deal with the issues.
The Machakos governor, who is facing a litany of audit queries before the Senate's Public Accounts and Investments Committee, turned the heat on his former ally and party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, linking him to massive grabbing of public land in the former Mavoko municipality. Mutua presented a letter by a law firm Ndegwa and Ndegwa Associates addressed to the Anti-Corruption Commission EACC, the National Lands Commission and the Commission on Administrative Justice, calling for investigations against Musyoka. Mutua claims the Wiper leader had used his position as vice president to influence the irregular allocation of parcels of public land to a company registered in his name and that of his wife Pauline Musyoka, as well as other companies belonging to his proxies.
But the reality is that land has been grabbed and land is continuing to be grabbed in Mavoko. We are trying to stop it, but there are so many cartels, some of them funded by very prominent people.
Mutua also wants the Senate to probe how Musyoka purchased a chopper through funds he claims were acquired suspiciously. The governor had in November last year written to EACC to investigate Mavoko Member of Parliament Patrick Makau and Lands Ministry officials for allegedly grabbing land belonging to the East African Portland Cement Company.
Land grabbing in Mavoko has reached catastrophic levels over the years.
The governor also submitted documents linking Bungoma Senator and CODCO Principal Moses Wetangula with land grabbing in Syokimau.
Then Mavoko Municipal approved the construction of an estate on LR 127.
Today, after consultation with the board of Portland, East African Portland Cement, the National Land Commission and my officers, I have written to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate massive corruption involving land grabbing of 13,000 acres East African Portland Company Limited land located at Mavoko, Machakos County. As far as we are aware, the land is still the property of Portland Cement Factory and no lease has expired. On expiration of any lease, the land will revert back to government. The land is public property and there has been no plan to parcel or sell the land. We are aware that interested groups involving senior government officials and brokers are involved in a plot to sell off the land. I direct that all those occupying the land to vacate. There are never any squatters in the land, and the people who are there right now calling themselves squatters were recently imported to justify land grabbing. The land is not and has never been for sale. Therefore, anyone who has purchased parcels of the land should consider themselves to have been conned. I advise them to report to the police. I urge EACC to move swiftly and fully investigate the attempted grabbing, including Mavoko MP, Honorable Patrick Makau, among others. There has been no planning and or subdivision undertaken or approval given by my government for the said land. The Machakos County government has not approved any development, including fencing of the land, and therefore any buildings, including fences constructed, are illegal structures. The cancer of corruption, theft and land grabbing, even checked, will destroy Kenya forever. We have to put our foot down and say enough is enough.
5 years down the line, all those that were mentioned during the investigations are ranting, showing solidarity with the affected Kenyans at Mavoko, pretending that they don't know what had been going on all along. And that drives me to the question, why couldn't they come through when the court was proceeding with this case of Mavoko land? I honestly feel that they're just lying to their electorate. Joseph Goebbels was the minister of propaganda during the tenure of General Adolf Hitler's tenure. And he once said that if you keep on repeating a lie over and over and over again, it will reach some point that people may begin to believe that it is true. And in relation to the Mavoko land saga, who will convince me like a 2-year-old kid that all the Ukambani leaders weren't aware of what had been going through in relation to the Mavoko land saga? The whole issue took a different turn immediately when politicians began politicizing it. And the bad thing in Kenya is that we do have a tendency of politicizing each and everything that is in the public purview. And whenever we politicize everything, then justice won't be delivered, simply because politics is very detrimental for justice to be administered. But honestly, that has just been my opinion. If you do have a contrary opinion to mine, kindly do feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And as I come to the penultimate part of this video, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you have been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button. And my word advice of the day to you is, my dear brother, focus on your life. Simply because people can drive miles just to come and bury you, but they can never cross a street to come and help you. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hebu tusalimianane mahali tulipo. Hebu enueni tena tafadhali. Najua tumechoka. Nitasoma tu from the book of Ecclesiastes. What is it in what do you call Ecclesiastes in Mhubiri kwa Kimasai? Ndio hiyo. At chapter 4, mambo haya ni ya kweli. And you know the word of God is true. Again I saw all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of the oppressed, and they had no one to comfort them. On the side of the oppressors, there was power. Yes, there is power. And there was no one to comfort them. If you looked at mstari wa pili, and I thought the dead who are already dead more fortunate than those who are actually alive. Mambo magumu hayo, but the word of God is true. And I want to join other leaders kwa kusema asante kwa mabishop na wahubiri wote wa Kajiado County kwa maajabu haya ambao wametufanyia, sio sisi viongozi ama wananchi wa Kajiado, bali pia Kenya nzima. Kenya hivi sasa hivi yanaangazia mambo haya. Tena mmekuja kwa wingi zaidi, mjipigie makofi. And asoba po again. Kajiado ni Kajiado. And the Governor Lenku, a man as I know him, ambaye anamcha Mungu. Mimi huyo Lenku tulikuwa wakati ule ndugu Raila 2013, nilikuwa na uchungu. Kwa kumbe hesabu ilikuwa inafanyika sijui hotel. Na huyu Lenku alikuwa anafanya huko. Tulikuwa tunaamini yeye ndiye alitunyima haki yetu. Lakini nimekuja kumuelewa Lenku. Hawezi kuibia mtu. Na nyinyi watu wa Kajiado, we came here during the swearing in, and I can tell you have a leader. Humble leader. Hawezi kuleta aibu kwa ndugu Raila. Huyu Waturukana si kuwepo. Lakini hata mahali alipo, if he knows there's God in heaven, anajua alifanya makosa. That is not leadership. Simply kwa sababu hana makaratasi, anaona Kenya kwanza itamuandama because he lacks the papers. Tutakutetea sisi na wakili. Lakini usiende kuaibisha nchi nzima na kuaibisha jamii ya Waturukana ambao ni jamii ambao tunawajua kwamba wao ni watu wa Azimio. Mashika, asanteni sana. Nashukuruni sana kwa maombi juu ya what is happening in the Middle East. Maajabu hayo. Niliona ndugu Raila, the whole Secretary General of the UN, Guterres, he was actually doing picketing. Alienda kwa mpaka wa Egypt na Gaza, akasimama pale akahutubia sema, unaona hii malori hii mimi nataka yafunguliwe. Wale watu pande hilo wanahitaji chakula, huku kuna nini? The world is at a crossroads. Kwa hivyo kuombea Middle East ni jambo la maana sana. And so, mambo haya, mimi I don't want to talk much. To be honest, najihisi hapa Kajiado niko nyumbani. Na mimi nafurahi kwamba ndugu huyu Lenku, mimi I make a clear mind. Nikiona huyu mtu anafaa, mimi namsupport. That's why tukasema Wiper tutakuwa na governor wana Wiper, asanteni sana. Because you didn't do the wrong thing. At a time like this, Lenku angekuwa kama mwenzake huyo Waturukana. Because watu wanaleta hofu, wanaleta hali ya kutisha, wanatisha watu. Wewe utafunguliwa mashtaka haya. Gavana wenu hapa anaweza akashtakiwa, lakini ameonyesha msimamo. Tumshukuru Mungu kwa sababu ya Governor Lenku. And we stand with you. Na watu wa Kajiado, kwanza to stand for the Masai rights. Tunajio jamii tangu wakati wa ukoloni. Ukielekea upande wa Machakos kule kwa mfano, Kilimambogo ilikuwa iko na jina ya Masai, Ndonyo Sabuk. Wa Masai walikuwa kila mahali. wakapokonywa, wakafanywa maajabu na wanakaliwa, lakini Mungu ni mwema. Today, sura ile ya ustadi, sura ya heshima inamilikiwa na Wamasai. Nikipatiwa hii, nimevalia hii, I can't leave it. Siwachi hii. Sijui shuka ngapi nimebeba ina hii. Wangapi Wakamba, Wakikuyu, Wajaluo, wa kila mtu mjiulize, when you do gospel music, wangapi wanafanya gospel music proudly kama hawa Wamasai ambao wanaonyesha utamaduni wetu, that our culture is not paganism. Our culture, you can worship God in the way amekuumba. So mimi Wamasai, asanteni kabisa, Asholing, because mmeonyesha msimamo wa ajabu to preserve our culture. Yale mengine, because mother atakuja kuongea, tumekaa sana, she's quite steady in a number of things. She was actually suggesting, like Eugene is saying, we go to the counties, but if we go to the counties, we must get there by 9 o'clock. Kwa ikiwa ni wakati ya kuja kanisani ya 12, tuko hapa. So, but today is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. What is happening in Mavoko ni jambo la ajabu. Wakati wa swearing in wa yule ambaye kwa mamlaka, mwenzake hapo in front of the whole world, almost swearing, never again shall there be demolitions. Na hata juzi alikimbia huko, asema demolitions karibu kwake Karatina, asema hii mtu ametoka wapi, you cannot demolish. At the same time, watu wa Mavoko zaidi ya familia wote ikijumulishwa zaidi ya watu 30,000 hawana makao sasa. Unity, whatever the cause, whatever the law, how can you do that to your fellow citizens? Uchungu ulioko Machakos sahi ni wa hali ya juu sana. Na ijulikane sio Wakamba peke yao wako pale. Kuna jamii zote, Wakisii, Wakikuyu, all of them. And most of them are innocent purchasers for value without notice. Without notice kwamba kuna mambo mengine mabaya ambayo yalifanyika hapa na pale. Evidence, mtu anachukua savings zote anaweka kujenga nyumba, anajengea watoto. But surely kanisa, the bishops in Machakos, all 500-700 of them, we were with them, the bishops and the pastors, on Thursday. Karibu anaapa kwamba we know we made a mistake. How do you desecrate places of worship, whether churches or mosques? You don't do that. Because the freedom of worship in the first place is guaranteed under the Constitution. So, mumetuambia Bishop, baba asilale, asinyamaze, asinyamaze. Na hatutanyamaza, na sio Raila. Pia tusitegemee Raila peke yake. Tuseme wa Kenya, tusilale na tupige kelele, na sio kupiga kelele. Tutapiga kelele technically. Tutapiga kelele zetu in a manner that does not mean we are lesser citizens than anybody else. Equality of the person under the law. Kwa hivyo, msiwe tumutangojea sisi tu Raila arudi pale. I will not allow Raila, me myself, arudi kwa maandamano. Let the country do it. Munanisikia? Hello? Umesikia what I said? Yani sio Raila kila wakati na Kalonzo anapigwa tear gas. I want you to know, bishops, and thank you so much, Chairman, you prayed, I think in the small room there, you said that there were deliberate efforts kumuua Raila kwa risasi wakati wa maandamano. Na kutokana na maandamano ndio tunafanya mazungumzo. If people want to go for negotiations, national dialogue, it must be that is done in a spirit of good faith imani kwamba ufichi kisu hapa nyuma. Kuna wengine wanaenda kuzungumza na mtu na weka kisu nyuma. Utadu, wengine wana hiyo attitude. Utadu, sisi tuko mamlakani, what will you do? Please remember there's God in heaven. And this is why you are shinda hapo. Wacha nimwalike my sister mother. Oh, Governor, I want to talk. You know, I'm against protocol actually these days. I don't, people should talk wherever they are. If I was talking, I was going to call mother. Unge conclude with a vote of thanks for